The 2026 Tour de France hasn't even begun, yet the conversation in the cycling world has already turned toward one man. And how much longer he plans to keep doing this. Lance Armstrong and Johan Bruyneel, two names synonymous with both cycling brilliance and controversy, have made a bold prediction about the sport's biggest superstar, Tadej Pogačar. According to them, by the time 2028 arrives, Pogačar will hang up his wheels. Not because he's lost his edge, but because he'll have won everything there is to win. Let's start with what prompted their conversation. On their podcast, The Move, Armstrong and Bruyneel broke down the 2026 Tour de France route, a course designed to challenge even the best. The race begins with a team time trial in Barcelona, followed by a circuit on Montjuic for the opening stage. The Pyrenees come early, followed by rolling terrain for sprinters and climbers alike. But the grand finale, a double ascent of Alpe d'Huez, looms like a storm cloud over the third week. Still, both men agree, the route doesn't change much. As Bruyneel bluntly put it, it's not a good route for Remco. He was referring to Remco Evenepoel, the reigning world Olympic and European time trial champion. This tour's lone TT is only 26 kilometers, with 10 of those uphill. A format that heavily favors general classification climbers over pure time trial specialists. Bruyneel's analysis was pragmatic. The time trial is for GC contenders, he said. It's not going to give time trial specialists like Remco an advantage. That comment set the tone. Because if the route isn't made for Remco, it's almost tailor-made for Tadej Pogačar. The Tour's decisive stages are stacked late in the race. Stage 20 in particular looks monstrous. The Col de la Croix de Fer, Galibier, and Alpe d'Huez. A trilogy of climbs that will define the Tour. And according to Armstrong, it may not even matter. We know what's going to happen, he said. If Pogačar is the same man he's been these last few years, it's going to be all control. His pace, his tactics. The only question is whether anyone else can handle it. But Armstrong also added a twist. He hinted that the 2026 race could either be very exciting or extremely predictable. That's the paradox of Pogačar. He's so dominant that cycling often feels suspended between awe and inevitability. And yet, Armstrong knows the weight of being too good. He remembers the hostility, the French crowds booing, the skepticism, the endless questions. He sees it happening again, this time directed at Pogačar. He's getting the same treatment, Armstrong said. They'll say the same shit they said about me, but not a hair on his head will think, I'll take it easy today. That's just not in him. Pogačar's dominance is indeed starting to frustrate some fans, especially in France. Despite his charm and humility, there's a growing fatigue around one man winning everything. During the European Championships, he was even booed on the podium, a rare sign of resentment against a rider so universally respected. Bruyneel, who once guided Armstrong through his era of dominance, doesn't see the field catching up anytime soon. When asked who might challenge Pogačar in 2026, he shrugged. It's not Vingegaard. It's not Evenepoel. It's not Oscar Onley. It's not Felix Gall. It's not Florian Lipowitz. I don't think the man who will challenge today is here yet. That's a stunning statement. Not just about Pogačar's strength, but about the generational gap he's created. So, if he keeps winning, how long can it last? That's where Bruyneel and Armstrong drop the real bombshell. Once Pogačar wins his 5th Tour de France, something that could happen as early as 2026, Bruyneel believes the clock starts ticking toward retirement. He has 4 more things to win, Bruyneel said. Milan-San Remo, Paris-Roubaix, the Vuelta, and the Olympic Games. After that, it's over. Then he will have won everything there is to win. It's a statement that sends chills through the cycling world, because it's not just speculation. It's logic. Let's look at the list. Tour de France, already 4 titles and counting. Giro d'Italia, conquered. World Championships, conquered. Il Lombardia, Liège, Flanders, all checked off. What's left? The classics that demand brute strength, Roubaix and San Remo, and 1 Grand Tour he hasn't touched. The Vuelta a España. Add in the Olympic gold medal, and that's the full set. If Bruyneel's right, by 2028, Pogačar could retire with the most complete resume in modern cycling history. Every major title in his pocket by the age of 30. That prediction might sound premature, But it's not far-fetched. Pogacar has never shown an obsession with records for their own sake. He rides for joy, not for spreadsheets. When asked about his career goals, he often laughs. "I just love racing," he says. "If I ever stop loving it, that's when I'll stop." It's the same mindset Armstrong and Bruyneel see as both a gift and a limit. He won't stick around for decline or repetition. Once the joy fades, he'll move on. Armstrong, reflecting on his own career, said something telling. "You reach a point where you've done it all. You've climbed every mountain, literally and figuratively. And then you start asking, what's left?" For Pogacar, that question may come sooner than for anyone before him. And yet, even as Armstrong and Bruyneel talk about his eventual exit, they can't hide their admiration. Armstrong, who knows the pressure of being the face of the sport, marvels at how Pogacar carries himself. He's calm, always smiling, always respectful. "You can't rattle him," he said. "That's rare, especially when you're that dominant." Bruyneel nodded in agreement. "He's got that Federer vibe," he said. "He's killing you, but he's smiling the whole time." The podcast discussion quickly spread across social media. Fans were divided, some agreeing that Pogacar is on an unstoppable trajectory, others scoffing that comparing him to Merckx, Hinault, or Armstrong himself is too soon. But even critics admit that what he's doing's extraordinary. Since 2020, he's averaged more than 10 victories per season, with multiple monument wins, rainbow jerseys, and historic tour performances. He's not just winning, he's redefining versatility. When Armstrong and Bruyneel dissected the 2026 Tour, they hinted that the sport might be nearing a Pogacar ceiling. The point where no course design, no tactic, no rival can unsettle him. "You can't make a tour that puts him at a disadvantage," Bruyneel said. "He's too complete." They're not wrong. Whether it's cobbles, climbs, or time trials, Pogacar seems impervious. His only weakness might be boredom, the inevitable fatigue of having nothing left to chase. And that's the irony. The same joy that drives him might one day lead him away. For now, though, he remains cycling's unstoppable force. The French can boo, the rivals can scheme, the route can twist and turn. But as Armstrong said bluntly, if Pogacar shows up with that same fire, there's only one outcome: a 5th Tour de France, maybe even a 6th, and then, perhaps, a quiet goodbye. If Bruyneel's prediction holds, that farewell could come in 2028, the year Pogacar turns 30. A champion walking away at the peak, undefeated, untarnished, and universally respected. Imagine that final race, the Olympic road race, maybe, or a farewell tour, his fans filling the roadside one last time. No tears, no drama, just the smile that's defined a generation of cycling. By then, as Armstrong and Bruyneel said, he'll have won everything there is to win. And maybe, just maybe, that's when the king finally lays down his crown.